Looks like we're live.
We are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Light the Torch. And right now, we are celebrating Stephanie and her new book, Bridge the Digital Divide. And Stephanie, can you tell everyone kind of what was your inspiration for writing this book and why it was so important for you to share?
Yeah, well, thanks, Heather, and thanks everyone for joining live today. I'm gonna share this to some of my pages as well. But yeah, well, this book was definitely a labor of faith, love, and just expression. Really, yeah. By the way, guys, my name is Stephanie Brandolini, and yeah, I'm a writer, I'm a screenwriter, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a speaker, and I'm also a high ticket business coach. And yeah, I wear many crowns, and that is also a bit of what this book was all about, like what it really means to run your own company and the pressures of that, and how to really heal things that might be in your way from really going all in on yourself and your vision, and really being of service to others throughout it. This book is it's my first novel. So I've written a book before with She Rises, which was amazing, and this is my first solo book with you guys. And yeah, Bridging the Digital Divide is all about an eccentric, intuitive TV showrunner named Samantha Sands, and it's about her journey with this AI that is forced on her, and how she learns how to work with it rather than seeing it as an enemy. And it prompts her into this spiritual memory regression that allows her to heal herself and others. And I was really inspired to write this because I do believe that there is obviously such a thing as spiritual healing, and when you go into yourself is where that happens. You find it within you. It's not an external thing. It's something you find within you. But the world and things that happen to us do prompt us. I don't believe that anything happens by accident. And the things that we might think are like, our worst enemy, or like we hate it, like this, my character hates this AI at first, but it's the AI that helps her get into this spiritual memory regression to unearth this hidden power that she never would have found otherwise. So yeah, that like dichotomous dance that we dance in life, of like the opposite sometimes being true, like that thing that you think you're not good at or you think you dislike, if there's some kind of resistance there, there's something to find within that.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times we get lost in that digital world sometimes, and try not to lose ourselves, but definitely learning how to use the system versus working against it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just finding our live on here. So okay, it's so funny. I can see myself on here. Join us live. Yeah, well, that was another big thing. Getting lost in the whole digital aspect of it, because it's amazing, honestly, what we've got going on right now. And yeah, it's easy to get lost in social media, in all the things happening. But a big message I wanted to have from this book is that we can use like AI, we can use all the advancing technology as tools. And, I choose to be friends with the bots rather than think it's going to be some kind of Terminator situation or something. But also as a tool to be able to, maybe more advancedly heal ourselves or connect with the divine. Like, it's called Bridging the Digital Divide, because it's the idea of bridging human consciousness, technology, and divinity. There's like, and my main character is the nexus of all that, where it all occurs. And I really wanted to show with this, like, healing of any kind, really, but like spiritual healing, it's not like you just like, it's like, boom, it's done. Okay, I found myself, I'm healed. It's like, there are layers to this, there's levels. And I do believe there is ultimate healing eventually, but if you've got a lot of stuff to get through, like, there's going to be levels and layers to it. And I wanted to show like what it feels like to have breakthroughs and like, oh my God, I've healed. And then stuff comes back and you're like, wait a minute, but just not to be hard on yourself throughout it, and to just trust that you are being led on a divine journey if you are being called to such a thing, and to just ride the storms that come, because there will be storms.
Yeah, there are. So during this journey of writing this book, what did you find the most therapeutic, but and then also the most challenging?
Yeah, well, this was an interesting, like, this is my first novel. I came from the world of screenwriting, and then I also, wrote the inspirational womanhood book with you guys last year, and that was
Mhm.
a co-author venture. And this, like, like I had a process to it, of course, but this actually started out as a short story because I just had the idea of, AI and what would it feel like to like have to work with it, and the spiritual healing just came because that's my stick. That's where my mind tends to go to, is toward the
Mhm.
sci-fi fantasy spirituality kind of realm. So yeah, it was the therapeutic part of it was, I mean, this character is not me, but the feelings of, going into those levels and layers within yourself that you might not want to look at sometimes. Like
Mhm.
that, those feelings are very real. And, I
Mhm.
wanted to be raw about it. Raw. There's a lot of stuff that I was like, oh my God, I'm going to write this. People are going to read this. But it's like, there's a lot of vulnerability in that. And that was healing. And just finding, like, I've been on my own faith walk throughout as I've been writing this. Like, I've always
Mhm.
been a spiritual person, but I've
Okay.
really reconnected with God throughout this. Like, and it's just
Oh.
been this book too. God was my co-author, honestly. So it's been that kind of journey, and just, yeah, like a really like She Rises Studios for a reason, like really rising into like my voice as an author. Like every time I share this with people, like I've had a few beta readers and they're just like, yeah, I can really hear your voice in it. And that's
Oh,
a big
cool.
message that I have for a lot of people out there, especially women. It's like it's time to unlock your voice, unleash your story, and like share your voice with the world and share your story. And there are ways to like monetize it. Like money's not everything, but we need money to live, right? And I
Right.
break the stigma and like the idea of any kind of starving artist thing, because artists, writers, filmmakers, coaches, like anything can be an art form, really. Even building a business, I mean, the way I'm doing it is like an art form. And I just want people to know that they can do what they love and be paid their worth for it, and get their stories out into the world. Because if you have that calling to, oh God, sorry, there's like noise going on above me, of course.
Of
um,
course.
someone wants me to not get this message out, but oh my God, sorry. I might have to put headphones on to deal with this, but so yeah, getting into oh yeah, unleashing your voice. That is very prevalent and paramount right now, because so many people don't want to share their voices and get scared and get blocked up. So I just wanted to be, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be sharing that message, I got to be vulnerable too. So
Yeah.
anytime I was like, oh God, can I really share this? I just leaned into it, and it became like one of the best scenes. I don't know.
Mhm.
It was just very therapeutic to write it all and get it all out there.
Well, I'm excited to read it. I'm excited that you're willing to be vulnerable and share it with the world. And I think it is going to pay off. So well done. I'm excited for you. And I think that, women, especially, those in their 20s and 30s and younger women are looking for an example or something to help guide them. While they deal with this topic of, bridging between digital and reality and life and survival and not just surviving but thriving, and what does that really look like and how can that be accomplished. So thank you for giving them a character to kind of show them the possibilities.
Yeah, well, it's all comes like, as someone who I always say, like, story has saved my life in a lot of ways. And like people that really love to read and write, and if you love movies too, it's like you go on this
Mhm.
journey with the character and you get that
Yeah.
catharsis
Mhm.
of healing too. So it's a way
Mhm.
to heal yourself on a journey that you don't physically have to go on, but you can go on in your mind, which is honestly even more powerful, because the power of the mind, that's a big thing that's in this, and showing like, the mind is an amazing thing, but it can, literally make a heaven out of hell and a hell out of heaven. So
Mhm.
my character's journey in healing her spirit, it's also her mind as well, because it's all connected, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
true. So true. Well, what about you? What about when you are in creation mode or maybe trying to get back into creation mode? What are some tools that you use or books that you like to turn to?
Yeah, well, there was a really one of my favorite series that like really inspired my fantasy journey. I don't know if many people will know it, but it's called the Fever series by Karen Marie Moning, and it's just this series that always sticks in my mind.
Mhm.
It's about a woman who discovers that her sister has been murdered in Ireland, and she goes over there and discovers this whole world of like the Fae, and she can see them, and this whole like world. And I've always loved that idea of like another world that we can't see, but it's
Mhm.
there and we have access to it. And once you start to see, like your perception changes, you open your mind, you can see it. And I wanted to have something like that, but like in
Mm.
kind of more of a modern context and with
Okay.
spirituality and with God and with what's going on in the world now. And I also love, of course, like I like with when it I love like fiction and fantasy books, but also you know personal development type books, but in the spiritual realm. Like well, honestly, the Bible has been one of the biggest books that I've been reading lately. That's like where it all came from in a lot of ways, but yeah, and there's a book I'm reading now called Purpose Awakening. Because I've been awakening to my purpose on this whole journey as well. And yeah, like I'm in business as well. So like Think Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he also has another
Mhm.
book called Outwitting the Devil, which is excellent. And, you know,
Oh, read that one yet.
yeah, because I mean, it's all like I said that he talks about it too, like your other self, the dark side and the light kind of thing, and that's always been something that's fascinated with me because we do have both those sides in us, right? And it's like this
Mhm.
dance with both and choosing the light every time, but learning from the darkness. And yeah, those kind of books really speak to me. And I'm also just finishing up the Dune series, which is people
Mhm.
probably know it because the movies came out recently.
Movie, sure.
But yeah, that is like really epic science fiction fantasy. So that's something that really has been in my mind too.
Well, it sounds like you pulled a little bit from a lot of those to bring them into this book, the different concepts and theories. And so I think it's going to be a very interesting read. And I think people are going to find definitely some inspiration and guidance from it unknowingly while they're reading about this creative character,
Yeah.
her journey, which I love. I love to be able to read something that you don't really realize is guiding you, but later that kind of comes to realization. So very creative. Well done. I'm excited for this book. I'm excited for this journey that you're about to go on with this book coming out. It is available in ebook right now online. Soon it'll be available in paperback at all retailers globally. So go on and check out Stephanie's new writing adventure, her very own book, Bridging the Digital Divide, and immerse yourself in this new character and what it means to really embrace the world and this digital differences that it has and figure out how to work with it versus against it. Stephanie, any last comments you'd like to leave our viewers and listeners with today?
Yeah, well, thank you once again, Heather, for your time and for getting the word out. Yeah, you guys, I mean, like I'm all about dreams coming true. I'm really going for it. I like if you've been following me for a while, you're like, oh, there's
Mhm.
that girl who talks about dreams coming true. Well, this is one of my dreams coming true, you guys. Like I've always been a writer, always been, oh, what if I could make a book one day? What if I could actually publish it? And like my own book that came from like nothing really. Like it didn't come from nothing, but it came from my infinite imagination. And
Right.
like if you have a dream, especially if it's like of writing or creativity, filmmaking, like go for it and like feel free to contact me because I'm all about collaboration. And
Mhm.
if you feel that calling, I talk a lot about like the calling to more in your life. And that's not to say like, you're ungrateful for anything. It's just like, that you have more to give. And it's not about you really. It's about like, what do you have to
Right.
offer the world? And, you've got something. If you're listening to us, if you're in these communities, like, you've got a voice and a story that needs to be shared. And if you don't, I mean, it does you a disservice, obviously, but then there's people connected to your destiny that you don't even know yet who, could benefit, and like you could be working together and making more amazing things. Like, when you go for it, like, more starts to unlock and open up than you could even imagine. Like, on this journey, it's been crazy, like stepping into being a business owner, being a published author. Like, now I'm an empowerment speaker. It's like all these things started opening up just because I said yes to my dream. And it's not gonna be exactly what you think. It'll be better, but yeah, you got to let go of control. This book really goes into that, about like how to like do that, and how my character like does that in her own way by just eventually ending up in a surrender kind of mode. But it takes a lot to get there, and I wanted to show that, because people talk a lot about surrender and letting go and all this stuff, and it's like, it almost sounds easy, but it does become easy, but there's a lot of people need to go through to let it become easy. Because I don't know, like, we've been kind of some brought up in a world that like kind of ingrains it into us that we need to like take control, we need to like plan this and plan that, and planning is good, but if you get caught up too much in what's going to happen next, you'll never be in the present moment to enjoy what you have now, and also put like put the seeds of what really needs to be in this present moment for those future blooms of what the seeds for the future harvest. And that's not to say like don't think about your future or anything, but just don't let it consume you, because it hasn't even happened yet.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like, the time is now. If you are lit up by anything that we're talking about, like, go for your dream, because it's almost the end of 2024, right? We got 3 months left, and soon 2020 is going to be 2026, it's going to be 2030. And if you don't go for it now, like, you probably won't. I'm just saying that right now, because I almost didn't go for it. And if I didn't, I don't know what I would be doing right now, but I wouldn't be living my dream. So I feel like I kind of am a bit of a walking testament in a lot of ways to, like, if you go for your dreams, more than you can imagine will unfold from that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being so raw and real and genuine and willing to share that information. And thank you for saying yes to your creativity and being willing to take the journey of being an author and bringing this amazing book to life. And we are grateful that we are your publisher and able to help you share your words and your dream with the world. So everybody go check out Bridging the Digital Divide by Stephanie Brandolini. She is an amazing human, an amazing woman, and she is created this beautiful book that you're going to find to be very intriguing and creative. And she is also, like she said, willing to put herself out there. If you're struggling with sharing, if you know you have a story and you're trying to create, she is a coach also, and a mentor and a speaker, and she loves to help others foster that creativity. So feel free to reach out to her. She's on all the different social media platforms, very visible and available. So thank you, and have a great rest of your week. Welcome to the journey of this new book, and I can't wait to see everything that you have going and everything coming to fruition with all the hard work I know you've been putting in.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. And I just want to mention one last thing, because it's October 1st, and yeah, so it's new month, new beginnings, and all that. And it's funny because this book was supposed to come out a little while ago, but I had to do some revisions, and it ended up being this day. And this day is also my dad's birthday. He passed away several years ago, and this book really has a lot of him in it in a lot of ways, a lot of inspiration from how it felt when he passed, and to like honor him, because he was a writer too, and he instilled in me the love of writing and creativity. And we honestly didn't have the best relationship when he was alive, but I do feel like I have almost a better relationship with him now that he is in the spirit realm. And that's in this book as well, and I do dedicate a lot of this book to him. So
well,
yeah.
look, it had to come out in its own time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, again, congratulations, and what a sweet dedication to him and to the changes you've had in your life. And everybody, again, go check out Bridging the Digital Divide. And it's available in ebook, soon coming out in paperback. But go ahead and get that download. Leave your reviews. Stephanie would love to hear your thoughts. And if you really just connect with the things she's been saying here today or her book, feel free to reach out. She is open and willing to have a conversation with you. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful week. Congratulations.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.